what do you think happens after we die? Is there an afterlife? And this is kind of relevant since we're filming this around Halloween.
Dun dun dun.
Ooh.
So not like
The most common form of a ghost is getting ghosted.
we're not going.
Me on a
The
daily
most
basis.
common ghost occurrence.
I must be haunted.
Yeah, the date was June 30th, 2011. I don't know, it was 2011. It was sometime in 2011.
Repeat the question, just
So,
so.
what do you think happens after you die, and do you guys believe in an afterlife?
I do. Go ahead.
Wait, we go first since you said I do afterlife wise, right?
I do believe that there is an afterlife. I don't quite know if I believe in like a heaven and a hell.
Because we're in it right now.
We're in hell right now.
Life is hell. No. Whoosh, fire. No.
It's the bad place.
It's
Editor?
imagine. I wouldn't be surprised given this political climate, but it's okay. So
This is the bad place.
I was raised Catholic, right? And so like you're taught there's a heaven and a hell, and everything you do in this life kind of helps dictate where you're gonna hang out in the afterlife. And then as like the years have gone on, like then I learned about reincarnation and all these other things, and I attached to that a little bit more. Like I would believe that after this life I'm like remade into something else, or maybe I start this life over again because of like when deja vu happens to you. Like respawn. I feel like I'm like that. I think that's like tomorrow. Something, a version of me from another universe or whatever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what I think.
I mean, my answer, I do believe in like entertain the idea of an afterlife, but I also shared that I don't know what it's like to die, but I do know what it's like to not be born, which is there's nothing's happening, nothing. So therefore, my thought is after I die, my consciousness and experience will be nothing.
It's fucking atheist, man.
I'm not an atheist.
Fucking atheist.
I am.
Because in terms of quote unquote experience, that's the closest experience I have. Of like
that's fair.
Of not being alive yet to being alive, so it's likely going to be the same. But also, I do entertain the idea of heaven or hell, but not necessarily sky and under the earth, but more so like a different turn of the page, different realm. And it could be like I more believe like hell is more, if that does exist, is a place where you just relive your worst mistakes over and over again.
Your continued existence.
Yeah, so it's like the moments where you have the most regret. You just live it again, and the pain is just amplified. So
Becca's here.
Becca's here.
Becca's here.
Is she in frame?
Yes.
So now-
I'll actually move in a little bit.
We're not cheating for Brandon when he comes in, right?
No.
No.
Okay, good.
Okay,
Just
so
complete
the
silence.
topic we're talking about is what do you think happens after we die, and do we believe in an afterlife? Do you believe in an afterlife?
Okay, so like
One
thing that I've really grown into really believing into my 20s is energy is a very real thing. Whatever the fuck you believe in. So
All of us.
Not me.
So and then like energy can't be destroyed, only changed. So there's
Momentum.
you got a
Law of
ghost in you
thermodynamics.
right now. Like we are ghosts, but once your body's dead, it's like, well, it's got to go somewhere. So
The
Yeah.
grave.
the grave in the ground,
Yeah.
essentially. But yeah,
Hospital.
So we become lighting posts.
I mean, we also talked about this because I brought this question up because at Stephanie, which is for you guys listening on the podcast, is one of the members. We had like an open forum, philosophical questions and all that stuff. So like we asked that, and then we also she talked about that she believes we kind of, I could be butchering this, but it kind of goes back into the universe.
Yeah.
And I kind of believe that because it's like there's a whole thing of like we're all kind of made out of this same stardust the universe was made out of. So it kind of makes sense. We kind of just go back into everything, and we kind of just a little piece of ourselves gets distributed everywhere, and like this material of who we are is not the origin, is a mix of other material, not just genetic material, but of the material of the universe before. That's just like a thought I like to play with. But it's also like, when I die, I go everywhere. I come on everything.
There's a really good photo of like just a photo of a star. It's like look at this really old photo of me. It's just a fucking space.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
That's me.
It is still a haunting idea. Like you're looking at a star, but it's likely dead by the time it reaches here.
Yeah.
It is dead, probably.
It's dead.
I wanna,
Isn't it dying, right?
It's dying. We can see it. It's dying.
It gives off the light when it's dying.
Yeah,
So
just like the concept of light.
Light years is
I
crazy.
want to like go really, really far out and see the dinosaurs. So I'd probably have to be like light years away from the Earth to see the dinosaurs. Essentially,
You need a very
Because,
big
like, the
microscope.
light- Yeah, that's the biggest microscope ever.
I don't think that's how that works, but
I don't know.
I said this like that night. Like I don't believe anything happens after we die. Like I don't. The person that dies, nothing happens. They just die.
Mm.
Like they don't experience anything else. There's no good place. Sorry. It's a great show though.
It's a great show.
There's a great show. There's no show.
stupid.
You're stupid.
Okay.
It's stupid, but it's like pretty golden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's and like and I said that like nothing happens to the person that dies. They're just gone, and that actually had me feeling like really existential because it's like I also mentioned that like the focus should be on the people that are left.
Yeah.
Like like who will move on, who will not. Like who will grieve, who will not. So like it's a matter of like how you treat people and like I'm like, have you treated this person well enough that they'll grieve you when you die? But then again, you're dead anyway. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's one of those. It's just like, but I'm dead anyway. Who cares?
Maybe it's almost like just hearing that. Like maybe the heaven for you will be whatever the memories people have of you, whether it's good or bad. So some people you might be part of that hell, and some other people you're part of the good memory. So that whole thing, like there's a moment, 2 moments when a person dies, where it's like when you actually physically die, and when the last person to ever utter your name. So.
What is Sabrina Carpenter out? What is going on?
I mean, she's here, right? Like
Yeah.
what?
She's
Great segue.
Sabrina Carpenter, if you ever happen to watch this podcast,
Is there a long-winded intro?
I would pass. My gay ass would pass out.
come hang out with some fellow
Dancers. She's a great dancer.
other 5'5".
5'4", 4'11", baby.
Yeah,
My God.
And also because I too was raised Catholic, and I went to Catholic school, and we were told do good things, you go to heaven. Do bad things, you go to hell.
It felt so conditional.
I hated that. Like I never subscribed to like anything Catholic really or like Christian. But what was more comforting to me was that nothing happens when you die. Like there's no heaven, there's no hell. You're not gonna stand in judgment and someone tells you where you're gonna go for the rest of eternity. And that's oddly comforting. Not because I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna be a bad person then. But it's just like, oh, I can just live. I don't have to condition my life to reach this thing and get my moral dessert.
Right.
I just want dessert.
Joey, what do you think? What do you think,
I
Joey?
just want the dessert.
I just want
I just want
dessert.
the dessert.
Moral dessert? Nah, fuck that.
Yeah, even if you don't subscribe to the life after death, it's
Why is it
while you're
just-
here and conscious, you may as well just have fun and spread positivity.
Yeah.
So, what's
That's true, right? Because if
Yeah.
you're trying to do all these things for an afterlife, then you're not really living in the moment. You're not
Yes.
taking
Yeah.
advantage of
Yeah.
what's happening right now.
The number one thing is you have to live in the moment. It isn't,
It feels very transactional.
Yeah.
You're not being good for
Love
the
is
sake
not
of
transactional.
you're
No.
being good for you're not being good for the
Universe,
sake of good.
love,
You're being good
good.
for the sake of the
What is
reward.
The reward, yeah.
So
And it's like,
then it's not authentic.
Yeah.
and you're not really a good person then if you're only doing things for the payout.
You're manipulative.
Yeah.
Almost sounds like.
The damn Mormons.
Yeah, well, I mean, they don't drink coffee, they don't dance, they don't do anything cool.
They do dance
Oh,
because
yeah.
Mormons are really good at ballroom dancing.
Actually, you know what? You're right. I did go to
Please
a
don't
Mormon
lead down. I
dance
have family
once.
members from Mormons. Please don't. Please don't.
Mormons are really good at
Please don't
ballroom
come for
dancing
me.
for some odd reason.
I saw
Yeah.
Book of Mormon a
Yeah.
couple weeks ago.
Oh, it's really good.
What about you?
Amazing.
I was raised Catholic too. Well, technically spiritually, but long story. But I'm kind of like a mixture of actually. Like I believe there's no heaven or hell. I feel like there's just a limbo and your soul goes there and then it transfers. That's simple.
Yeah.
Simple point. So it doesn't matter about the good or bad you do. That's why like the idea of being present is so important because you won't have those memories again. But just your soul transfers to a new vessel. Simple.
Yeah.
Nothing really crazy, but not philosophical. I just feel like, no reason to make a big deal of the, passing.
Yeah.
But ghosts.
Like one of my favorite things is like watching videos of EMT workers or people who work in old folks homes that like, I don't fucking care. Ghosts are real. Like they experience crazy shit. So, I mean, I don't work in one of those, but I like watching videos of people who do.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that stuff.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, that's later. That's later.
Teaser.
In like 15 minutes.
True.
When Brandon gets here,
Is there-
essentially.
Okay,
He
well,
does his little drive-by.
did he? Is there anyone, like, this was a fun follow-up question she also asked, was if there was a spirit and anyone in history that you would talk to, what would you ask them?
Huh.
Mine was I would like to talk to Jesus. And I would like to know what happened because in the Bible.
Did you really turn water to wine, dude? Like, how
And
did you
then
do that?
I wanted.
Show me how you do that.
Because this is still my thing. Like, because in the Bible he's like 13, all of a sudden he's 33. What happened in his college years?
In between.
His college age
No, but like,
in
yeah,
UC
he would be the guy to.
Jesus
He would be the guy to
Nazareth. Was he the crazy party bro? Like, yo, check this party
Turning
trick out.
No,
water to wine.
Like that is a party, bro. Like,
Yeah.
come on,
Like
like,
Bethlehem State. Like,
Yeah.
did you turn up or what?
Yeah, he could have said no. Like, when he was like, no.
Come on,
I
Maria.
got you. I learned this back in college. Wine. There you go.
Yeah, when he went to that he got invited to that wedding. Like, oh, we're out of wine, Jesus. Jesus,
So
like,
Jesus knows how to
I
party.
remember how to do this.
So I want to know where that came
Like,
from.
fuck your flip
Like,
cup.
Jesus, Maria had to get pregnant somehow.
Like,
come on, yeah.
Something happened.
Jesus, you have to be born somehow. Figure it out. All right.
so
I'll just
yeah,
go with her.
I want to know, dude. I want to know, like, during those mystery years, like, what happened? How when you
The gap
discovered
year.
that you were the first living mutant? How did you control your powers?
Why did you ask him exactly what
Wine.
that?
You can take a joke.
Walking on
I'm pretty sure you
water.
can take a joke.
Yeah. Flipping over tables.
We just lost half our subscribers.
Yo, if God,
it would be dope.
That would be dope.
it would be
If God could, like,
it would be a shame if God cannot take these jokes because He created humor too.
Yeah.
I guess
That's true, right? Yeah. If you're gonna believe.
I mean, he made me.
Oh.
He put this team together.
Sure.
That is a good question.
that's better. Like, I don't know.
Right.
You got the power up.
Who would I want to talk
All right,
to?
what about you guys?
I don't
What do you guys?
You guys were.
I don't even know. You guys took the big
Yeah, I
topic.
mean, that's kind of the guy to
That's
talk to.
kinda the
Jesus
guy.
is like- that's the guy to talk
That's
to.
him.
I just said I wanted to I just said I wanted to talk to my grandpa.
Oh.
Like, hey, is heaven real? B, are you up there? C, who's up there?
Right.
Who all is up there?
Because
Who's going?
my aunt's there, I don't want to go.
Yeah. I'm like, if there's certain people there that are there, I'll take eternal damnation. There'd probably be there.
For me, it's like if like I was able to hear like ghosts speak, I would just listen to the stories. I wouldn't really like want to talk to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of person where just like, give me what your knowledge, you know.
Ouija board.
Who's the most powerful mutant other than Jesus Christ? So, like, he's already top tier. There's gotta be others.
Who's the most like OP mutant?
This is turning into turn.
Jesus was the
Not
original
Jean Grey?
X-Men, so
It's between Jean Grey, Storm.
he's the actual first recorded.
Jean Grey, Storm, maybe Rogue.
He was also a rebellion. He was also a rebel. You know, he's very much an X-Men,
But
dude.
what if
He was
he's-
against the government.
But what if
Yeah.
he's a witch?
He was a
Think about
socialist.
it.
I mean,
I mean, there's. I mean,
Wiccan.
doesn't.
he's-
doesn't
he
really-
fits somewhere in the Marvel universe.
He's some wizard, some wizard shit going on here.
He is Billy Maximoff.
He,
William Kaplan is a little Jewish boy.
he created all the different like arts, the mystic arts, the X-Men.
Yeah.
So he's like, you guys are
It
gonna get
wasn't really
rich.
supposed to be this.
Yeah,
It was
it's not
supposed to be this.
So wait, does that
It's
make
supposed to be this.
does,
He's like, how the fuck did you get there?
Is that why Dad knows how to work it because he's Filipino and Catholic?
does
Probably.
does that make Stanley God then?
Obviously.
No, he's just like I think he's just like
He's a prophet.
It's like I don't know if you guys watch Supernatural.
Oh my god.
He's like Metatron. He's like the voice.
So he's a
for it.
prophet.
He's a prophet. Sammy's a prophet.
Okay.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love how this worked
Yes.
out.
Turn of
It's a
a
fun
topic.
trend. Yeah, I know. Just
I think one of Stephanie's friends also said like, basically just they didn't specify anyone, but literally anyone in like human history. I just want to ask them why.
Why?
Like
why?
How?
Alexander the Great? Why?
So
Why did you do that?
funny.
Hitler? Why?
Why?
It's like the good, like
Why?
the
It's
good
more like
and the
nine.
villains of like history. The question will always be why. What was your
Yeah.
motivation?
Right.
Therapy wasn't
Therapy,
available.
yeah.
That's it.
Go to therapy.
You didn't have any social worker.
If you go to therapy, you don't
Bunch of
genocide.
stigma.
You had no copay.
My insurance didn't pay for therapy. So.
So you're just gonna genocide.
You should.
It was
You
out of nowhere.
should.
I'm sure that's how it happened.
You should not.
I agree
She went
with
for
that.
BPO, not
I
an
mean,
HMO.
Undertale genocide run.
I almost feel like if therapy was much more prevalent in these other ages, like they probably wouldn't have such angry men trying to take over everything else.
Yeah.
But also, I almost feel like at the time, conquest was part of the job.
But that was
Being-
that was
Yeah,
power.
was
part
the
of it.
thing.
That was
Yeah.
power.
Yeah.
Land was
Ultimate
power.
power.
Yeah.
And so
You didn't conquest. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, you're not fucking. Like, what are
You're
you doing
like-
with your
It's
life? Yeah.
Yeah.
you're 25, you haven't conquered another city.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you still live here?
Yeah, because I saw like Alexander the Great was like conquered how much at the age of 30. I'm like, what the fuck? I think we're gonna end there.
In the words
okay, no.
in the words of our friend Mr. Ryan Kurmiashu, dance is my slut.
Piece of shit. Oh.
All right, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Because we need to set up the